I am not ready for fall. I mean, I am like in the mental sense, but I feel like in the physical sense, I just simply am not. I've been traveling for the past couple of weeks, going to fun music festivals and Disney and just having the best time, honestly. It's been a great start to fall. I feel like everything fall related has been neglected, both in my home and in my reading, and that's just frankly not going to stand. I want to read some cozy fall books. I want to get my office space like cute and cozy for fall. I just want to lean into the season, especially since this week I think is the first week that we're actually getting fall temperatures in Texas. It's nuts to say that early into November we still have not gotten any day that has a high below like 85 degrees, but I think like in a couple of days it's gonna get into the 70s and I'm so hyped. I'm ready to just embrace the fall season, which in Texas I mean lasts until about January. But embracing Halloween, Thanksgiving, all of that, like, you know, cozy fall goodness, the leaves, the changing colors, the decor. So we're gonna make this space fun. We're gonna make this space fun since I'm gonna have to be working in here the next couple of months for all of you. I'm gonna get some of my holiday decor up here. I'm going to kind of rearrange my space to make it fun, and we're gonna go to Barnes & Noble and pick up 3, I think, new romances for the fall season. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna read, we're gonna decorate, we're gonna have a really good time together. Part of that is also gonna be showing you my new standing desk from FlexiSpot. Shout out to FlexiSpot because the new E7 desk that I have has also been changing the game. This chair back here, also from FlexiSpot, has been changing the game for like a month or two at this point now. How long I've had this chair, but I'm obsessed with it, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But before we do all of that, I think we should head to Barnes & Noble because I think I have an idea of what I want to read, but I'm not 100% sure. And I need to go read the backs of some books and see what we're gonna read. What we're gonna be reading in this vlog. So let's get there. Let's go to Barnes & Noble. Hello friends, I'm back from Barnes & Noble. I also have mail. I've got regular mail, I've got book mail, and if this is the book mail that I think it is, I'm gonna freak the fuck out. I'm so excited. I do get sent like a fair amount of ARCs and finished copies of books, most of which I'm very excited about and excited to read, some of which I don't think are like always my speed. This one, just hold, okay? I will share it with you in just a moment. We'll save that for last though. First up, let me show you some exciting mail. I decided I was going to give one of my cats a Halloween costume. I was inspired by my lovely best friend who didn't necessarily suggest it, but when we were at Disney, she was talking very specifically about one of these cats from a Disney movie. It got me thinking, I think Binky would make a phenomenal Marie from the Aristocats. I got some pink ribbon to tie around his neck, big ass bow on his back. I also think it's super cute. I'll put a picture of Marie from the Aristocats if you don't know what I'm talking about. I also really like the little bow on the head, the little tuft of hair, and I think I'm gonna try to recreate that as well. The tuft of hair, what I think I'm gonna do is just brush Binky, form that little tuft of hair, glue tuft of hair to a small bow, and then put like a little clip or a bobby pin in it, and so I can just kind of place it on his stupid little head. I'm gonna get some good pictures. I don't know why I'm so excited for this, but pink ribbon for that. I can also use this for my Christmas tree. It's the second thing I was going to show you. Not my Christmas tree, but in order associated with a Christmas tree. This year in the office, I know we're doing a cozy fall vlog, but I am excited for Christmas. It's my favorite of the holidays, okay? I am doing a delightful like red and pink, not candy themed necessarily Christmas, but just like a really pop Christmas in my office. Like think old school VS pink, that sort of vibe. I like ribbon on my Christmas tree. If you don't know me, I fucking love ribbon. So I could use this. This is definitely going along with the color scheme, but I got this really pretty pink and white stripe. I feel like it's not coming off as bright in person as it is. It's not like neon, but it is just like a true Victoria's Secret pink and white stripe. And then I also got this ribbon, which is a 2.5-inch Farrah silk. If you know ribbon, you know Farrah silk. Red velvet ribbon with a pink side, I guess. So it's like red velvet on one side and this like pink, I think it might be Dupioni. Hello, precious. I have the ornaments and other accoutrements to go for the tree. I got a lot of this stuff at Michael's this year because I had some really good stuff. And Caitlin, stop influencing me, girl. And I'll show you the DIY, I think, in a different vlog, so be on the lookout for that. The good news about Binky is that he tends to be very amenable to things. Speaking of the devil, he is in fact right here. And I do say devil because he has broken not 1, not 2, but 3 of my Christmas items, but that's okay. You're cute. And he actually doesn't mind me putting things on him. The other cats do not like clothes. They do not like collars, so I don't do that to them. He doesn't mind. I've put a sweater on him and he was totally fine with it, so I think he won't mind the bows. Let's get back to the important stuff, shall we? I did go to Barnes & Noble. I was able to find what I was sort of on the lookout for. I didn't get one book because I saw the reviews were not as good as I had wanted them to be. So the third book's sort of up in the air, but let me show you what I purchased. I got People Watching by Hannah Bonham Young. I've heard good good things about this one. Actually kind of mixed things, but I think I'm excited for it. We've got Prudence, we've got Milo. Prudence is living in this small town caring for a mother who has early onset Alzheimer's, which, God, it seems like every book these days has that. But I mean, it is a very prevalent issue, so not surprised, I guess. And then we have Milo, who is just kind of like wandering through town, a little bit of a slut. I think they have some sort of like whirlwind romance and casual sex lessons. Love that. It sounds nice. It's not super long. I love the cover of this. I like Hannah Bonham Young. I was excited for her new release, so very excited about this. I also got Good Spirits by BK Borison. This one I don't think I'm going to read in this video because it feels, I mean, it is more Christmas than it is fall. I've heard that this is really cute, and I like the idea of banging the ghost of Christmas past, don't you? I think she does a great job with the holidays, so I'm excited about this one. One book I know for sure I'm going to be reading in this video, besides just people watching, is If It Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia. So many of you guys recommended this book to me, and I'm very, very, very excited to get to it. It has all of the Gilmore Girls vibes from the cover. I can't remember exactly what y'all have been saying about this. I think y'all said this was like unexpectedly good, maybe like deeper than expected, maybe not super smutty, question mark. The heroine in this seems like a hot mess, and our hero is a single dad, I believe, so intrigued. For the third book, I am either going to try and find something on Kindle Unlimited, or I think I might read a book I was sent. I think it's like The Haunting of Edgar Hill or something. Actually, that one. Okay. Enough talking. Let's open up my book mail. I'm so excited. I'm pretty freaking sure I know what this is, because I don't normally get anything from Tor. When they reached out to me, I was like, you're joking. You're joking. I literally recommended a book by this author writing duo in a video. Like, I posted the video the day that I got the email if I wanted a copy of this book. I'm so excited. This is This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me by Alona Andrews. I am elated to have this in my hands. Thank you so much, Tor, for sending this to me and for reaching out. This is an ARC, and this, I believe, is the first fantasy romance, romantasy, whatever, from Alona Andrews. They normally do paranormal romance, urban fantasy romance, but this seems more akin to just a true fantasy romance, and they are so fucking good at writing. Like, I cannot express how much I love their stuff. Like, feel like I want to save this. I don't know what I'm saving this for, but like, I'm going to read this soon, and I think this comes out next year. Like, I think they gave me ARC, yeah, March 2026, kind of in advance of it's gonna come out, but oh my god. Okay, I'm freaking out. I'm so excited. I'll be reading this soon. Okay, you know what I should do though? I should mosey upstairs and get reading this, and then maybe we can decorate and just kind of like get my office back to rights. I'm not gonna do anything crazy in there. Basically what I'm planning on doing is bringing some of my Halloween decor upstairs that Binky keeps knocking off of things, so I can enjoy the Halloween spirit without the evil, malevolent spirit continues to fuck my shit up. You know what I mean? So, BRB.
Tell me, babe, where are you going? Prairie wind goes on blowing. Tumbleweed shadow, I'm tied to you. Tell me, babe, what are we gonna do? 'Cause you got me in the back. Spinning and I can't tell where to get the magic. I just gotta have it.
Oh my goodness, y'all. I am taking a mini break from trying to redecorate and rearrange my office because I'm so sweaty. I knew it was still warm in Texas, I just kind of forgot how warm, so I switched out of my sweatshirt into this tank top. Figured since I am sitting down, catching my breath, and trying not to sweat to death, I thought it was the perfect time to tell you about the sponsor of today's video, FlexiSpot, and I could tell you a little bit about their new E7 standing desk. I am obsessed. You also know that I'm obsessed with the Lotus recliner behind me. I recently got this to replace a couple of armchairs that I had in here. It's very similar, my experience with my standing desk, to this chair. This chair has like just changed the way that I interact in my office. I feel like it's so much easier to film because I can walk around the chair easily. It's very big and comfy, but it's not so big that it's like unwieldy. I feel like it's much more comfy than those armchairs. Like, I can recline better. I love this thing, and I equally love my E7 standing desk for like very similar reasons. It just improves upon something that I already had and makes my life just that much better. So like I said, I have the E7 standing desk, which has a white frame. You can pick between black and white, I believe, but I have the chipboard maple top in the 55 by 28 desktop size. It's just absolutely perfect. perfect. It replaced a desk that I already had that was fine, but just like isn't quite as good as what I have now. What stood out to me right off the bat with this desk is the design. It is very similar color-wise to the desk that I had previously. You can just really feel the quality. I love that it's not bulky, but it's just incredibly sturdy. You can put up to 355 pounds on this desk and it just functions absolutely beautiful. I think I said this already, but my last desk was also a standing desk. It had some limitations that I wasn't a huge fan of. Namely, I didn't like that on the lowest setting of that standing desk, I actually couldn't get the right ergonomics. When you're typing, you should have like kind of a 90-degree situation going on with your upper arm and lower arm. But I feel like my lower arms were lifted just a little bit too high because my desk was too high and I couldn't get it any lower. This one goes pretty low, which I really like. You can really adjust, and the way that it performs, it's just so smooth with the up and down motion. It's never glitchy or laggy. Again, that was something that I dealt with my last standing desk. I also love that the motor for this particular standing desk is actually in both of the legs. So when I'm under my desk, when you look under my desk, you don't see this big bulky motor. And if you want to attach accessories under the desk or more cable management, you have plenty of room for it because there's like not really anything in your way. Of course, the reason I have a standing desk in the first place is because I love that it's height adjustable. Again, I get the ergonomics. I can also stand and walk at it. I love using my walking pad, especially in the cozy winter months when I just don't want to go outside and get my exercise. I love being able to edit videos and use my walking pad. I think FlexiSpot also has some really great walking pads that go with their desks. I just love, again, to be able to walk while I am at my desk. It's really important to me. And something I wasn't expecting but has been a welcome surprise is just how stable the desk is. Again, I had a standing desk. It was fine. It was great. But I did realize that I couldn't multitask as well as I wanted to when I was actually using the standing function with that desk, because while I was walking on my walking pad and trying to type at the same time, I felt like there was too much movement of my desk and I feel like my eyes were just having a hard time with my screen moving. This desk, I don't have that problem. It's just the little things. It's the little upgrades that I absolutely love about this desk. I mean, it's the big things too, but I just love how much easier this desk is to use, how beautiful it is, and just how seamlessly it's fit into my life. It hasn't been a crazy learning curve. In fact, it was super easy to put together. Whenever Hayden was installing this or like putting it together for me yesterday, he was remarking to me just how much he likes the furniture from FlexiSpot. He also put together this chair and he's like, oh, it's FlexiSpot? Yes. Like, he was so excited because everything is just easy to assemble, great instructions, comes with like the tools you need as well. Just like, I really couldn't recommend FlexiSpot more. This is the perfect time, y'all, to check out FlexiSpot, and especially the E7 standing desk, because they are having a Black Friday sale. Black Friday sale will get you up to 80% off, which they never do at any other time of year. So it's like definitely the time to hop on that deal. And there's a chance to get 100% free orders. So again, it's like the best time to order. So if you want a desk like mine, or you have been eyeing my chair that you've been seeing in videos, which is the Lotus reclining chair, I'll put that in the description down below as well. FlexiSpot has your back. Shop now, and if you want, you can mention my name in the little notes portion of your order. Also use code YTE730 to get $30 off your order in addition to the discounts that are already on FlexiSpot's website. Get your own E7 standing desk. So thank you so much to FlexiSpot for sponsoring this portion of the video. I guess we can get back to decorating. Is it bad if I feel like this is the extent of the Halloween decorating I want to do? I have my little like garland up there. I've got my two houses, these little houses that I got from Pottery Barn a couple of years ago. Metal, which is nice. It does help prevent Binky from messing with them too much. Got that one. This one I think is cuter. It's got like a little black cat. I don't know if that's gonna like show a black cat right there. Little like bat. And I think you can put like a tea light in them to make them glow, but that's a little dangerous, so I don't do that. It is impervious to Binky's fuckery, but again, it's like he just knocks everything down. It's not even that he's breaking things, it's that he's knocking them down, although he is of course breaking things as well. So I don't know, I'm just like glad to have this stuff up here. I don't know, it's like not excessive, but I also did sizable declutter of a lot of my like fall and Halloween decor because I just don't have the space for all of the holiday decor that I have, frankly, and I realized that Halloween is just like not a time I really like to decorate for. I mean, I love the holidays, generally speaking. Like, I like fall, I like Christmas, but Christmas is just the time of year that I want to go all out for. Whereas fall and Halloween, I think I feel more in the spirit of the holiday when I have just like a couple of things out and I focus on how the weather is changing and like a cozy warm drink. Like, I don't know, I just don't feel like I need all of the consumer trappings as much of this particular holiday. I feel good. I feel good about my decorations. They're really like not that exciting. I've got like 3 things out, but I like this more than like ways that I've decorated my in the past for Halloween. I used to do like a really big orange like garland of leaves and do like a little leaf and pumpkin on each of the shelves, and I'm just like, I don't have time for that. I'm also just, I don't know, I'm not into it as much anymore. So anyway, I did that, and I also have this like fun pillow. I think I got this on Amazon. I'll try to link this. I know that Pottery Barn sells these as well, and I'm sure other retailers do as well, but these were like pretty affordable and it's held up well over time. Of course, it's like covered in here because the cats were sleeping on this downstairs, but now she's up here. People watching because I'm 50 pages into this and it's interesting. It's not really what I expected, but I'm liking it. I like the vibes that are, you know, being laid out for us, even if the writing was a little iffy at the beginning. So this book's about Prudence and Milo. Prudence is living in her small town she grew up in, and her mom has early onset Alzheimer's, and she just wants to be there for her mom. Her mom is her best friend growing up. Her dad is like still in the picture as well. Her mom and dad are very, very in love. And dad wants to put mom in a home because he wants his daughter to fly the nest a little bit, have her own adventures. She's 24 and really hasn't left home, hasn't gone to school or anything. Tell that this is really just weighing on her. The toll that it takes on her mom, you know, is no longer the person that she used to be. And yeah, Prudence doesn't really want her mom to go to a home. She's trying to do everything in her power to make sure that doesn't happen. And though, you know, it's a great memory care facility, she doesn't want to not have her mom around. So that's sort of Prudence's story. She ends up meeting Milo at the convenience store / grocery store that Prudence's dad owns and runs. They're closing down the shop for the day so that they can spend time with Prudence's mom when she's having an episode, I guess, in which she thinks she's getting married, like she's reliving her wedding day or something like that. They're closing down the store for the day. As she's closing down the store, Milo is trying to get cigarettes for his sister. They're like traveling to their older brother's home to like help him out. They're not sure helping him out with what, but little brother, little sister going to older brother's house to like help him out. Anyway, family is kind of a touchy, weird subject for them. They don't like their parents, but they do seem to have a decently nice sibling bond. They don't spend that much time together. Anyway, Milo stepping in to grab his sister Nadia some cigarettes, and that doesn't work out. But Milo and Prudence have this sort of like connection, this moment where they're both really attracted to each other. You can tell that they're both into each other, but what's gonna come of this, right? Like he's just visiting town, helping his brother out, but maybe he will be staying long term. We'll see. I'm sort of confused about this small town. I didn't think this was the small town they were from. Necessarily by from, I mean like Milo and his family, but Milo had Prudence's mom as an art teacher in the day. He also actually ends up having an encounter with Prudence's mom, like in that same parking lot. It's the same encounter. He's having this moment with Prudence. He's like, oh, you're so beautiful, blah, blah, blah. He's kind of flirting with her. And then mom comes into the picture and is calling her daughter Lucy, which is actually her sister's name. Not Prudence's sister, but Lucy's mom's sister, her aunt, whatever. Hero's very confused. And he's obviously devastated to learn that his former art teacher has Alzheimer's. So it's good that he knows, I think, off the bat that this is the case. It's not something that's going to be like withheld from him. I think that would be weird. Yeah, I don't know where this is going to go. I mean, the back of the book says something about he has a lot of stories, brother needs help, and he and Prue are going to have casual sex lessons. But like, I'm wondering what the romance is going to be, why Milo's staying in town. We haven't really gotten there so far. I think the only thing that I'm really feeling right now is, not confusion necessarily. I do think the writing was sort of hard for me to get into at the very beginning of the book. Getting thrown so many different names and I wouldn't say info dumped. We're getting a lot of information at the beginning of the book about Milo. His chapter is the first one that we are reading. I think I'm finally into it enough to be not like a little head scratchy about the details. I mean, I am head scratchy because my dandruff is acting up, but I'm not head scratchy because of this being confusing. So I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. It's pleasant so far. I do want to continue reading. I do want to understand why Milo's there. So I guess I'm intrigued. That's a good place to be. We have a lot to talk about, and you know, Halloween might be over, but clearly in my scary witch era. I need to put some makeup on while I tell you about People Watching, which I finished, and I got 50% of the way into another book. I didn't expect to read for this video, but I'm very glad that I am because it's providing kind of what I'm looking for lately, which is, I don't want to say boring, but like lower moving, methodical, atmospheric sort of vibes. Who am I? Who am I turning into? I'm not quite sure. But I am sure of us though. I have a zit right here and I have a zit sticker on this zit right here. I don't know what's happening with my skin. I haven't tried anything new, but she's acting up. So anyway, first let's talk about People Watching. This was not good. It was not good. I didn't like it. Okay, when I say it wasn't good, I don't know that I think that it was objectively not a good book. I just very much did not enjoy it. I was willing to give it the benefit of the doubt because I had seen what people were saying about this book. And so I went into it kind of knowing objections people had. I think that that actually tends to help me out a little bit. Like if I know, okay, this is going to be a very smut forward book, I like to know ahead of time so I can adjust my expectations, right? I think it's like not silly to go into a book being like, I don't know anything and then being disappointed, but like to adjust my expectations because I'm notoriously picky. We know this, okay? So with People Watching, I knew people said this was very sex forward and that Milo was like creepy or gross or something like that. I will say, I don't know that I would consider him creepy or gross, maybe very immature. I don't even know where to fucking start with this book, okay? I don't know where to start. I'm like struggling a little bit to talk about it. So in this this story, Milo's home helping out his older brother. His older brother's wife just had their like 6th baby, and he is trying to open up a brewery, and he needs some help doing this. So he enlists the help of his little sister and his little brother being Milo. Little sister, little brother hop in the car. They get to this tiny town that they did not grow up in. Or maybe they did grow up in this town. I don't know. They're not seeing their parents is all I know. And the parents don't ever come up in this book, but the parents were abusive and shitty, and so they have kind of a complicated sibling relationship in that they don't hang out often, but they do all love each other. So definitely an element to the story, and so Milo is dealing with that. He's also trying to recover from the trauma of his childhood while being around people who were there for it. So I think that's honestly part of the reason that they're not around each other. It's like, I love you guys so much, but also like you guys remind me of a really hard time in my life. So that's something that he kind of contends with in the book, and I say kind of because it's not as prevalent as I think it should have been. And then our heroine is dealing with the fact that her mom has Alzheimer's, and her dad gives her sort of an ultimatum at the beginning of the book and is like, hey, you need to figure your shit out. And by that, I mean like, you need to live a little, and I really want you to leave this town. Like, I don't want you to stay here forever and be stuck with us. And I'm going to, you know, get your mom to a home in January. And our heroine, I don't even know if it's necessarily an ultimatum, if it's like, this is just going to happen no matter what. But our heroine is dealing with that. She's also trying to like help her mom in a lot of the chapters. And basically, if you want to know what this book feels like, what happens day to day in the chapters, it is heroine dealing with her mom, heroine having a lot of sex with our hero being obsessed with our heroine, and that's about it. They're not these like richly developed, complex conversations that are taking place, which I think is kind of a disservice to this kind of story. Like, I think this book could have really benefited from some tough conversations because it's dealing with tough things. Like, if you're gonna deal with Alzheimer's and trauma in your character's past, I'm like, I want you guys to talk about that. Like, I want that to be something that, like, I don't want to say you bond over, but kind of like, why are we not talking to each other? Why is this not a more prevalent part of the book? Where hero kind of convinces our heroine to have sex with him, and she's like, okay, cool, I've always wanted to have sex, I'm a virgin, here's a list of things I want to do. And so they kind of like endeavor to do those things together, and in doing those things and having sex together, and in Milo helping our heroine's mom with like painting and stuff, they fall in love. Again, there's not a lot of like on-page conversations. I had a very similar issue with Totally and Completely Fine by Eliza Sussman that I read very recently. It's a book that has really hard-hitting topics and characters going through grief and like shit like that, but they're not actually talking about those things, nor are they having any other sorts of conversations with each other. I say never having. I think, again, the authors are trying to lead you to believe that these conversations are happening off page, like they're throwaway mentions of, oh, you know, we talked the whole night, or oh, we're just connecting on this soul deep level in other ways at other times that you're not privy to as the reader. And I'm like, I need to be privy to that as the reader. This is a romance novel. I need to see on-page conversations and you guys like having a connection beyond just the physical. It was very physical as well, and I didn't love, here's the thing, I wouldn't say our hero was like a pervert or creepy or anything like that, but a lot of his attraction to our heroine is purely physical, and that also felt a little bit weird. I mean, I know the story is like built on sex, and so like having that sexual attraction there is important, but he's constantly talking about how he wants to like get her pregnant, fill her up. She's the only woman who's ever made him feel like this. It just felt just like not sexy, like very much not sexy. There's a scene at the end of the book too where they're specifically, you know, say making up. Like there's a fight that ends up happening. Our heroine's really upset with some information that our hero withheld from her. They're having this like, you know, reconciliation moment. And at the end of it, instead of it being just like this poignant moment, she's like, hey, guess what? I've been on birth control for 28 days. You know what that means? And he's like, oh my God, cream pie. Yes. And again, I'm just like, that's what this book is like culminating in. Like, why do I need all of the extras, right? Like, why do I need all of these surrounding things? Why are you trying to like bake other things in when ultimately this book is just about these two people having sex? And it's not just about that, but like that is what the majority of your story is centering on. You're not giving us a lot of chapters about the other stuff. So yeah, I kind of struggle with that, and I think I'm just struggling with that in general. Romance right now is like authors deciding that their characters need tragic backstories or like hard-hitting things happening, but they are not willing to actually spend on-page time with those things. Like I kind of felt the same way, I'm not gonna lie, about the Kennedy Ryan book that came out this year with, again, a character with Alzheimer's, or the Ashley Poston book that came out this year also with a mother with Alzheimer's thing. I'm not saying you shouldn't include it, but I don't feel like just be something that we like throw in and then never address or never talk about, or is never really a reality for these characters. Like this one I don't think is like egregious. It's not like it was a throwaway line like, oh, my mom has Alzheimer's, and then we never hear about it again, but we don't actually see the reality of our heroine living with this, but we're also like told a lot that it happens, that like, you know, she's helping her mom. It was not it. I didn't really like it. But again, I struggle to conceptualize this, not that it ultimately fucking matters, but do I say that this is a objectively bad book. I don't think that's necessarily true. The writing's not horrible. I think that this author, in some ways, probably like set out to do what she did, and that's it. I mean, like, I don't know. It's hard to say. I think if I like knew maybe what this author was trying to pull off, I would like have a better answer for that. As it stands right now, I'm just sort of unsure. I'm also really unsure of how to cover up the zit I've got going on because Sealer is so pale, and I feel like it's just highlighting this cutesy little zit on my face. Okay, let's try this little like stick concealer maybe. It's like I have another zit coming up too. Wow, I am thriving today. What in God's green earth is happening? Okay, we could talk about a book that I'm actually having a good time with. I think that could be more exciting, perhaps. So I have started House at Watch Hill by Karen Marie Moning. I always want to say Moning because that's kind of what it looks like, but apparently it's Moning. That's how the audiobook narrator said it. This book is about our main character, Zoe. She has been helping care for her mother. I say helping. She is the sole caretaker of her mother, who has an advanced form of cancer, and her mom is probably going to pass away from this cancer. They, their whole lives, have kind of traveled across the United States, staying in no one place for too long, traveling a ton, and just kind of barely making ends meet. But now they are kind of settled down in, I want to say like Indiana, kind of like the outskirts, the suburbs of Indiana. Our heroine at this point is really just trying to make her mom comfortable in her final days. She has hope, or she's holding out hope, that her mom isn't going to pass away until unexpectedly one day her mom dies in a fire that happens at the apartment or house that they are renting, and our heroine is absolutely distraught. She was at work when this happened, and she just doesn't really know how to cope because this was her, best friend. This is the person she spent the most time with. She wasn't able to put down roots anywhere else because they traveled so much, and she has like one best friend that she met in elementary school, I think, that they have like maintained contact through all of these years, but other than that, she's mostly alone in this world until she is contacted someone and is told, hey, you are actually the beneficiary of this woman's estate, this woman in Louisiana. I know you didn't know her. I know you didn't know that you were related to her, but DNA evidence suggests that you are, in fact, her heir. And can you come to New Orleans to collect your inheritance? And she's like, yeah, okay, sounds good. Like, I have nowhere else to be. My mom has passed away. And she gets there and she realizes what she's been left is this fucking enormous estate that's really creepy. And she has to stay in the estate for 3 years if she wants to get the money basically tied to the estate. I mean, it's a little more complicated than that. She can stay for 1 year, get $1 million, 2 years, 2 million, 3 million, and then so on and so forth. I mean, I say that at the 3rd year, she gets the entire estate, which is like, I think 147 million or something crazy, in addition to this big ass house. And it's in a small town in Louisiana, and she, I don't think has ever been to Louisiana, or been, to the New Orleans area. She gets there and she's like very much in disbelief. She doesn't know what she wants to do, because obviously there are a lot of like restrictions. Maybe it's not obvious. There are a lot of restrictions tied to her accepting this. Like, can't have overnight guests more than one night in a row. A lot of things attached to this house if she like wants to take it, but it also still seems like too much or too good to be true, our heroine. And Zoe was like, you know what? I have nowhere else to be, but I could also set myself up and my family, my potential future family, up for generational wealth if I take this thing on. And she's like, you know what? I feel like I have to do this. But when she does that, crazy shit starts happening in the house. And we haven't gotten really, really far into the book. It is kind of a slow moving setup for a probably pretty long series. But our heroine is trying to not die in this house and trying to maintain a level head when creepy shit starts happening. She's also meeting the townsfolk who actually rely on some of the estate for various different things, like women's club who needs her money for a scholarship. There is, just other people who rely on her money. So she's having to get to know people and kind of rub shoulders with people. There's also staff at the estate itself. And there's like a handsome guy who is like the groundskeeper. I think he's like Scottish or something like that. And she's also finding out that the woman who stayed there before her was Scottish. Our heroine's like, okay, well, if we have the same heritage, ostensibly I'm Scottish too. She might have some magical abilities that she is starting to find out about. It's just like, it's fun to be in this world. It's fun to indulge in something that doesn't feel like it is rushing me through it. I do like fast-paced stories. Sometimes I like a book that gets to the point quickly. This book, I knew going into it wasn't going to be that way. Like, I knew it was going to be a story that was slow-moving and that really took its time with the description. I think that's the main complaint I've seen of the Goodreads reviews, or from the Goodreads reviews, is that this book tends to be a little slow-moving for people, and they were bored. They're like, it's like intriguing enough for like a setup, I guess, but like like it could have been shorter. I'm just interested. I'm very much a fan of this author, and I remember the first book in her Dark Fever series, Fae Fever series, whatever the hell that series is called. It's got 5 books in the main series. I think it's like set in Ireland. It's like Ireland Fae. It's very, very good. The first book was like not the best, and the setup was a little bit, I don't know, I wouldn't say it dragged quite as much as this one, but it was a little slow moving. I was still committed and still like intrigued enough to continue, and that one turned out to be great. And this one I'm kind of feeling the same way. If anything, I'm actually liking it more because of the setting. Like, I think the New Orleans area is pretty fun and can be, you know, spooky as well. And this one I think is about witches. The series is like a witchy series rather than fae, which also intrigues me more. I kind of prefer paranormal over a story. Granted, that one's like fae paranormal, if that's even a thing, so I don't know. I'm having a good time with it. I'm intrigued to find out more. Our heroine has also slept with a stranger. The night before she ends up getting to the estate, she ends up meeting a guy at a bar, having sex, and I think he's gonna like come back in some way. And I'm wondering like how he relates to all of this. Like, does he work for the estate? Is he a ne'er-do-well? Like, what is his story? And yeah, just like who our heroine's gonna end up with. Also, like, what is this magic? We're not even there yet, but I'm intrigued enough to find out. And this is the kind of book that like I want to read this fall. So anyway, I have 2 more hours left of the audiobook. I think I'm gonna continue to listen to it and then pop back in with you guys. And maybe I'll also start in on If It Makes You Happy, so we have even more to talk about. The way that I had to just like shock my nervous system into waking up by doom scrolling TikTok, I think says a lot about how my reading's been going. So I did end up finishing The House at Watch Hill. I want to say The Haunting of Hill House. That's not what it is. It's The House at Watch Hill. I really liked this one. I'm gonna give it 4 stars. This is just exactly what I'm looking for in this like crossover time between October and November. I swear this is like when I read Ninth House for the first time. It's just the time of year where I do want to slow down and I do want to savor and enjoy books rather than get through them very quickly. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll talk a little bit more about that in an upcoming video. Been really wanting to pick up books that I like, books that I'm enjoying, and just like take my time with them rather than speed read them. Not that there's anything wrong with speed reading, and I feel like it has its time and place, especially on my channel, but yeah, right now I have just been wanting to slow down, and this book was the perfect slowdown. Don't pick this book up if you're looking for a fast-paced, exciting, thrilling read, but if you want a book that's kind of laying out the pieces for you, keeping a little bit of mystery, having a lot of atmosphere, I think you might enjoy this. If you liked Ninth House, I think there's a chance you might enjoy this one. It's even less exciting than Ninth House, and I don't even think Ninth House is like that thrilling, but to say about this one, from about the 50% mark on, things definitely pick up. Our heroine's friend comes to town. Her friend had some prior knowledge of the fact that our heroine is, you know, a part of this witchy town, and I don't feel like that's much of a spoiler to say because it's pretty clear there's like witchiness afoot here, but we still have a lot of questions at the end of this book. Like, our heroine's finding out a lot from her friend, a bunch of different like kind of interesting and spooky things end up happening, and it's leaving our heroine questioning her parentage, questioning her lineage in general, what kind of witch she should be, because we find out that there are different kinds of witches. There are witches with light magic and dark magic, and you know, before your 25th birthday you're supposed to pledge to a certain house, and yeah, there's just like a lot. The 50% mark that I just read that was interesting and has me excited for future books in the series. Like, I know that that's not exactly resounding endorsement or giving you a ton of description about the little details that I enjoyed, but I don't really want to spoil this book for you, and I do think that this is the kind of book that's not going to appeal to a ton of people. I think I have a fairly specific taste in books, but I do think some of the books that I enjoy, or maybe the vast majority of the books I enjoy, are popular ones. I think this happens that often, but I don't think I'm going to give this like my stamp of approval. I mean, I'm giving it my stamp of approval. I'm not saying go rush out and pick this up. I don't think this is going to be for everybody, but if you liked Ninth House, or you are someone who likes a slow-moving paranormal story set in the Louisiana area, and you like witches, and you're excited to see where things go next in a series, and aren't turned off by a series that's started but hasn't finished yet, I think you might enjoy this one. So yeah, 4 stars, loved it. Speaking of wanting to slow down and savor books, I found myself reading this book and wondering, okay, when is it going to be over? And not because I'm not enjoying it, because I very much am, but because I feel like I need to get this video posted, right? Like, there is urgency and deadline with most of the videos that I post. I had this decision, this dilemma to make. Do I speed through this book and maybe enjoy it less, or do I read a couple hundred pages of it and then just leave it there, right? And update you later in a wrap up or a different video. And I'm going with the latter, and I'm hoping that doesn't annoy any of you too much, because I know this book is going to feature prominently in the thumbnail of this video, but got about 150 pages into this book that's considerably longer than, you know, most contemporary romances. And I'm enjoying it, but I won't lie, it's also kind of putting me to sleep. And that's not to say that it's bad. I'm just, I guess maybe sleepy. It's midday, it's like 3 p.m. This book is so cozy slice of life that I'm not flying through it, I don't know. So this book is about our main characters, Cliff and Michelle. At the beginning of the book is getting a divorce from her husband, Alan. Alan is older than her. I think he's in his 40s. She is almost 30, and he is leaving her for a much younger woman. And Michelle doesn't seem too torn up about this. I mean, she's like disappointed in it, but what is particularly annoying to her about the situation is that mother has just passed away. She's at her mother's funeral, and her ex-husband is like, I don't want to be here. I'm leaving soon. You need to tell your family we're divorced. I was like, wow, okay, damn. I think that this opening prologue is a really good character moment for our heroine. I feel like I get to know her and her personality pretty quickly in this prologue. And I have to say, I've never read anything by this author. I didn't know if she was a debut. Apparently she's written like 10 books. She is very talented. I am very impressed with the writing style, and I don't want to directly contrast this to the Hannah Bottom Young book, but there's a very distinct difference in the way that stuff is laid out here. So Michelle is, we are told, is a little bit less whimsical than her sister. She has a little sister who is going to take over the family bed and breakfast that I guess this heroine's mom opened within the past couple of years. It's not something that's been in the family for forever, but Michelle's little sister Sarah is going to take over this bed and breakfast, and we're getting contrast between the two of Michelle is the eldest sister, and she's always told that she's just not very fun. In one of the final moments between her and her ex-husband, he tells her, you're not fun, no one wants to be around you. It was kind of heartbreaking. Even though Michelle thinks he's a dick and isn't like super torn up in that moment, we can tell that this is something that weighs on her, and that's kind of a recurring theme I'm seeing through these first 150 pages is that wants to live up to her mom's legacy of being a fun-loving, warm, inviting person, but Michelle kind of doesn't know how to let loose and to let her personality shine. Also, you know, she just does have a different personality, and it's not necessarily a bad thing to be a little bit more serious. So anyway, Sarah is still in college. She's going to be graduating in about a semester, I think. Our heroine's duty to take over the bed and breakfast. Little sister is finishing up college. It's tough for our heroine. It's tough for her to step into this role that she is not naturally gifted at, and luckily she has one of her neighbors, Cliff, to help her out. Cliff is a single dad, is living in a small town. He has a bakery. Everybody loves Cliff. He's a great guy. Fun-loving, nice, and he is teaching our heroine how to bake and how to just be a better host of this bed and breakfast because he was actually close to our heroine's mom and kind of knew the legacy that Bertie, her mom, kind of set out. So story is just like these two getting to know each other through our hero helping our heroine out, and it is really charming. Like, I'm really enjoying it. I like the cast of characters. I think the girls are sweet as well, our hero's daughters. I like the small town setting. This is set in 1997 in Vermont, and that is also something that I really, really love. I've mentioned it many times here before on the channel. I am intending to write my own book, and it is going to be set 10 plus years in the past, and I love when an author goes for it. It's like sometimes maybe weird, I guess, to set a contemporary-ish romance in the past, because it's not like historical, you know, Regency romance, but I don't know, I appreciate it. I like the setting. I think it's fun. I'm liking this book a lot, but again, I think because of the nature of the kind of story it is kind of just putting me to sleep. I don't want to rush through this. I want to savor this. I want to enjoy this. I think that is really what I'm taking away from this season. I think that this is like the definition of a cozy reading vlog because I yapped a lot, to be honest. I've really just had a fun time with all of you, just reading books, savoring them, having a good time, getting to really live in the pages of my favorite books. I don't think I've told you, but I feel like it should be evident maybe by my outfit. Weather has changed as well. The last time I was bitching about the weather, it was so hot, and the next day it got cold, and it has been kind of chilly here too, so really leaning into the fall spirit, especially with this time change. So that's actually where I'm gonna leave you. I hope that no one's too annoyed, but I have another vlog coming quite soon. It is another kind of chatty lifestyle vlog with a little bit of reading, and maybe I'll finish this book in that one too. Maybe I will set out to do that. But thanks so much for watching. I love you all so much, and I'll see you in the next one.